Okay, good morning. So, this was a four days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 days of holidays. Okay, we were at triangular element for plane problems. Plane problems means all the 3 types of plane states. One is called plane stress, other one is plane strain, third one is generalized plane strain. All the 3 can be accommodated into a single program because the formulation is similar, and what changes is only the constitutive relation. Only the stress strain relation will change, because every point in all the 3 cases are having only 2 degrees of freedom. Every particle P is only moving in the plane in which you are considering, that is xy plane in plane stress, xy plane in plane strain, z is the length direction of the dam, etc., the longer one, and r and z in the axisymmetric case, r and z. Theta is the rotational coordinate which moves by 2 pi. So, r z also. So, the particle moves in r and z direction. No movement in theta direction. Yes, the radius changes, but particle will simply move along the radius, every radial line. So, in all the 3 cases, you have only 2 DOF, t degrees of freedom per node. Every particle is having, and we derived, because this was the first element that was developed by the inventors of finite element. This triangular element, it is supposed to be the simplest element, but now we realize it is not the simplest, because integration creates problem over triangle. For stiffness matrix is all right, B transpose dB or B transpose EB, I do not call it D, I call it E. So, EB is constant. So, therefore, only volume is remaining. So, volume of the element is thickness times the area of triangle. If you know the 3 coordinates of a triangle, then you can find out the area and multiply that by the thickness, that becomes your volume. So, in the case of plane stress, it is the area of triangle multiplied by the thickness of the plate, that is dV. In the case of plane strain is a very long xy is in the plane of the cross section, let us say dam. So, what should be the volume? Volume is, because every slice behaves in the same manner. Every xy, wherever you cut along any z equal to constant, it behaves in the same manner. So, we just take thickness as unity there. There is no thickness. So, area of the cross section of the dam multiplied by unit is your volume. In the case of, so this should be kept, dV is equal to dA, area in the plane multiplied by unity in the case of plane strain. So, this is only change that comes. And in the case of third one, that is axisymmetric problem, what should be your volume? What should be your volume that you are considering? Volume of axisymmetric, see, any cylinder means this, of course, this will not come in your, but this plane is rotated about 2 pi angle, then you get a solid cylinder, if this one coincides with the axis of rotation, if you keep it so. So, what is the area that you have, what is the volume that you have to consider? That is this cross sectional area multiplied by 2 pi r. Any particle is having 2 pi r. So, whatever area you are considering, multiply the centroid of that by 2 pi r. R is the distance from the axis to that point. Okay. 2 pi r is the perimeter multiplied by the area of the cross section will give you the volume. Okay. So, here you have to take dV is equal to 2 pi r into dA. These are the 3 differences. plus the other differences will be in the constitutive relations. Plane stress, you know how to write down the constitutive relation between stress and strain. Plane strain, there is slight difference. What is the difference? In the case of plane strain, there is slight difference in the three stress to strain, sigma x, sigma y, tau xy related to epsilon x, epsilon y, gamma xy. It is not same as, because plane strain case you have to set epsilon z equal to 0. Okay. First put epsilon z equal to 0. So, find out sigma z in terms of sigma x and sigma y. Substitute sigma z in the expression for epsilon x and epsilon y. There is last one is sigma z. So, you get your epsilon x, epsilon y in terms of only sigma x and sigma y. So, that is the change. While it is not so in plane stress. Plane stress sigma z directly is 0. So, from the first epsilon x is equal to, there are three terms, third term is 0. Similarly, so that is in the case of plane stress, but plane strain sigma z is not 0. Therefore, sigma z will have to be substituted by the third equation by setting epsilon z equal to 0. Epsilon z equal to 0 equal to sigma z by E minus nu divided by E sigma x plus sigma y, or it comes out to be that sigma z will become equal to nu times sigma x plus sigma y. This you substitute in the first two equations. So, this is a simple difference between plane stress and plane strain. Now, similarly, I think I need not, there is slight difference in the constitutive relation for axisymmetric. Axisymmetric, you have to take, this is your r, vertical is z direction, and this is a rotational axis, theta, r theta z is your cylindrical coordinate. So, please write down and see what will be your constitutive relation, but there also we can write down a constitutive relation. Okay. So, these are the only two differences. In volume, dV will be different and constitutive relation E matrix will be different. Then last time we had, I had shown you that yes, because B transpose EB will be a constant, so there is no problem of integration, but then N transpose P dV, N transpose P dV is the load vector, there it will come, you have to integrate. So, I will just give you something. If you write your, now this you please supplement my whatever I am saying by reading from the book. So, at any point u is equal to sigma this is the way it is written by Reed's method. Now, how you find out your shape function, that is your, if you can write it this, Ni are the shape function. Now, it can be, now I do not want to go into the details, but I will just tell you that any nodal shape function can be written after little manipulation by 1 by 2 delta. Delta is the area of the triangle into Ai plus Bix plus Ci y. I think this ink is not there. This is where this is del is area of triangle. This can be derived. Now, what are these Ai, Bi, Ci, that I will explain. For example, A1 when I equal to 1 is given by x2 y3 minus, I think this I had given you, but I am just giving you in a compact form. B1 is y2 minus, this I had explained to you I think the other day, but then I will just give you x3 minus x2. So, A1, B1, C1 you have got, similarly A2, B2, C2. We can get A2 equal to x3 y1 x1 y3, B2 y3 minus y1 C2 x1. If there is any mistake in cyclic rule, please tell me. And A3 I am just writing out whatever we had derived last time in compact form, nothing else. B3, because ultimately you have to write down all this in a computer program. You have to develop so these are the A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3. See 2, 3, if it is 1 then 2, 3, 3, 2. If it is 1 then 2 and 3. If it is 1 then 3 minus 2. Now here it will be, if it is 2, so C, for example here C, C1. So C 1, 2, 3 you see. So C 2, 3, 1. Cyclic is what? Cyclic is, if it is 1 here, 2 here, 3 here. So if you move like this. So it says, for example, C1 is x3 minus x2. After 1 what comes? 2 and 3. But then it is a reverse order, not 2 minus 3, but 3 minus 2. After 2 what comes? 3 and 1. After 2 what comes? 3 and 1. So reverse order will become 1 and 3. So that cyclic order. Similarly, B1 y2 minus. So B2 next one what happens? 3 and 1. So this cycle must be. Similarly, 3 here next is what? After 3 1 and 2. So this cycle you see. C3, after C3 what happens? C3 1 and 2, but then reverse that. 1 and 2 has to be reversed. 2 minus 1. You see here. So these are the coefficients. Then your shape functions are all known in terms of the nodal coordinates. We had derived this formula, only thing I had not written in this compact form. And your area 2 times this is nothing but determinant 1 1 1 x1 this of course you know from your algebra that determinant of this matrix is gives you 2 times the area of the triangle. If x1 x2 x3 and y1 y2 y3 are the coordinates of the 3, so triangle is there. Pens are not working. Okay, so this is all right. So we can that is all right. The other thing that I would like to explain to you, if this is these are the displacements of the 3 points in with reference to this. So, when you have another element here, next element, see these two nodes are common to both the element. We would like to ensure that the displacements are continuous across this interface, line 1 and 3 displacements, because otherwise there will be jump, there will be kink. No, we do not want kink, whatever displacement. So, that way this element is good, because this is only 2 node. Along 2 node you can have only linear variation, and your element function also is only linear. So, for this, because both are having common nodes, so there can be only linear variation of displacement, and therefore, compatibility. So, this is called compatibility. Compatibility is ensured. Compatibility means the displacements are not discontinuous along the interface, along the line which joins any 2 nodes. So, everywhere you will find all this along this there will be compatible displacements. So, this element there is no problem of incompatibility. So, there are 2 words, compatible and reverse of compatibility is incompatible. So, these 2 words will come in finite element books, that this element is not compatible, this element is incompatible, compatible and incompatible. So, this is a compatible element. Continuity of displacement. Compatibility means continuity of displacement is ensured. Then I think I have told you other thing, that in the limit as delta psi, as this area tends to 0, any element, see any point, that means you are reaching a point. In that case, area size reducing means it is a point P. This is point P. At a point, whichever element you are using in whichever field, at a point stress strain must be constant, must approach a constant state. Stress and strain both must approach a constant, because at a point means what? There is a uniqueness. It must have a single value of stress. Single value means single state. All the 6 components. Similarly, all the 6 components of single state of stress, single state of strain, but it must have approach constant. And this element has a unique property that, forget about a point, even over any finite area, stress and it is a constant strain triangle. So, I am getting right from beginning stress and strain over the element constant. So, this is satisfied. So, therefore, this element is called convergence property. So, this element GENCE, convergence criteria, one of the criteria, this is criteria is a plural, that in the limit, if you develop a element in the limit as delta A, as delta tends to 0, the state of stress, state of strain must approach a constant state. This is satisfied. So, this is called a very important, this is one of the very important convergence criteria. Your solutions will always converge to true solution. So, that way CST element will always give you good solution in the limit as you refine the mesh. So, convergence criteria is satisfied. Okay, this is clear. Okay, so now we will go to the next. I told you there is a problem about this. Where is the area coordinate? No. Yes. See, problem about integration of this N transpose, if P is the distributed load, this is the your load vector F. A standard formula N transpose P dV. That means what? What is the meaning of this? This is the triangle, 3 nodes. At every node, 1, 2, 3, corresponding to each displacement, you have also forces F 1, 2, 3. So, it is, what should I say? How should we number this? I can number it x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3. So, my load vector F consists of 6 and my D vector, that also consists of 6. Same force vector, displacement, nodal displacement vector, force vector. Force vector means, that means there was some distributed load here. How do you get force vector? Force vector over the element something, some distributed load was there, some P. This element is subjected to some load P per unit volume. Some distributed load. Now, in a finite element, we cannot handle any distributed quantity. Everything has to be discretized. Everything has to be put on the nodes, nodal points. So, this P can be discretized by this formula which we have already derived. So, this is a standard formula. Now, N is a function of x, y. So, I will have to integrate this. So, integration of this is not that straightforward. How to integrate this? So, since N is a function of x and y, it is not a constant. So, this integral is not constant. I will have to integrate function of x, y, and I think I explained to you last time that is it is not easy, because in a mesh I cannot align all the this one. It is okay for simple, I think somebody suggested, yes, for a rectangular zone. Yes, I will, what I will do, I will have this, but this is a very special case, right angle. So, I can integrate and then formula, I can integrate this, move from, but not everywhere. If my element is, my this one is my geometry is like this, a quadrilateral, and I want to use triangles to analyze this. So, the simplest triangle is I join this by yes, black वाला काम नहीं कर रहा है, thank you. So, I can convert this into two triangles, triangle 1, triangle 2, and then I can, but then see these lines are not huh? But then this line is not parallel to x axis. This line is inclined. This line also, although this line is not parallel to x axis. So don't always think in terms of lines parallel to x and y axis. Okay. So you always have difficulty of integrating over triangular area. So you have to have a general. There are special. So in the beginning, when the method developed, of course, these are simple ways. So people thought of integrating like this, but then we could think of only rectangular domain and some special, okay, we will do it like this. But then in a general mesh, I can have my lines any inclination. So it is not easy. So in that case, what we do is how to integrate this. Then we develop what is called area coordinates. So if you have a triangle, if you have a point P inside this triangle P, then if I join all the three vertices to this point P, so I get these three triangles out of this one big triangle, 1, 2, 3. Let us call the total area, I mean there is a one is, of course, total is del, area of this triangle is del. Now that is divided into three areas. Call this now the area which is opposite node 1, let us call that as del 1, opposite node 2, let us call that as del 2, opposite node 3, del 3. So that del is equal to now del 1 plus del 2 plus del 3. So now we have got three sub areas. So we have got now, from here we develop a what is called a concept of area coordinate. What is area coordinate? All are areas. So if I take these three ratios, del 1 by total area, one ratio, del 2 by this, and del 3 by del, these three ratios. Call them as L1, this as L2, and this as L3. By the way, what will be the summation of L1, L2, L3? Yes, so that is one good thing. So we have got now three ratios of area. These are non-dimensional because you are dividing area by area. Once you are dividing area by area, you will get only a non-dimensional number. So you can get this, and so I will just give you. So, lot of work has been done. In fact, in the beginning mathematicians entered into how to integrate over area. So, there are number of papers on this, how to integrate over area, triangular area. So, this came, okay, you divide these 3 into like this. So, L1, L2, L3, these are just like x, y, z 3 coordinates, I mean x, y, z Cartesian coordinate. These are called area coordinates, LIs. So, LIs, Li, I going from 1 to 3 is area coordinate. And the good thing about this is that area, then it was realized this, the behavior of this area coordinate L1, L2, L3 is peculiar. See, if I move this P point to 1, then delta 1 by delta becomes equal to 1. So, here L1 is L1, L2, L3. The value of L1 is 0. See, if P is moved to point 1, so if the node interior point comes to this one, then delta 2 becomes 0, delta 3 becomes 0. Therefore, you get here when point P coincides with node 1, then L1 is equal to 1, L2 equal to 0, L3 equal to 0. When P coincides with node 2, then L1 equal to 0, L2 equal to 1, L3 equal to 0. When P coincides with node 3, then L1 equal to 0, L2 equal to 0 and L3 equal to 1. So, the behavior of L1, L2, L3 is similar to that of N1, N2, N3. So, Ni and Li have great similarity, and therefore, change the color. Therefore, what we can do is we can write, normally we write our U and V. U is so this can also be written as similarly V. Let us say I think I will have to see the source of the formula. Yes, it is there. Those of you who are those of you who are academically minded, you can see this reference. Eisenberg, M.A. and Malvern, L.E. on finite element integration in natural coordinates. It has appeared in only one page. Not very old, huh? Hardly 25 plus 4. Huh? What is this? Not very old. 73. Of course, before all of you were born. But then this is so they have. So in the beginning, whenever you know, this is what happens. Whenever you develop something, so first job was how to integrate. This was a big challenge for people, and so they came out with some formula. You know, the details are beyond the scope. I mean, present scope. Not that you should not know. Present, I don't want to waste time on. So the two important formula that I will take from this paper is if you have to integrate over area, because area thickness is constant of a triangle area, and you have something like this L1 to the power a, some expression inside there is some function L1 L2 times to the power b, L3 to the power c, and this you have to integrate over the area of a triangle. In simple terms, such a function can be integrated very easily by a formula which is factorial a, factorial b, factorial c. Do you write factorial like this? Exclamation. That is the book, but we will taught like this. Exclamation is, and then a plus b plus c plus 2 multiplied by twice area of the triangle. So integration has been simplified to this, and then you also sometimes, because you also have to integrate sometimes, because over the line integral, because edge, sometimes you have edge load, only 2 on the edge of a triangle. So edge of a triangle, what is, if this line is, if you call this S, so if you this over S, and if your function is something like this a L2 b, and this is the integrate over ds, so this comes out to be factorial a, factorial b, factorial c. Sorry, there is no, sorry, only b. and factorial a plus b plus 1 into the length of this side into total S, this that you know, this is S, capital S. So, these are two important formula which are used for integration over triangle, and it is due to this reference that I gave you, and now it has become a standard thing in our computations, but then in the initial period it was not standard. It was certainly not standard. So, you have to okay. So, this area coordinate, please read it, practice it, simple, because time is short. Unfortunately, time is always short for anything that we do. Then now I would like to take it is fine. We have done now triangle, but it is not necessary. People are not, as I told you, if the domain is, I would like to work with rectangular element, not by some. Of course, rectangular can be used only for rectangular domain. So, initially simple domains were considered, but now you can have, instead of rectangular something else, that I will take later. So, first supposing, so you had this Pascal triangle. Pascal triangle was looking like this. In a triangle we use this, one constant plus constant into x plus constant into y. Next term is x square here, y square, and another quadratic term is this, up to quadratic, all the quadratic. So, I do not want to go beyond for the time being. Now, I want to develop this and a simple element for plane problems whose this one is of course a rectangular element. Now, how to start? First thing is I have to find out this. If shape function is defined, yes, D is clear. D is now 8, U1 V1, U2 V2, U3 V3, U4 V4. So, how many degrees of freedom? 8 by 1. There are 8 degrees of freedom. 4 nodes, each node having 2 degrees of freedom, U1, V1. So, D vector will be like this. Therefore, the size of your n matrix, n, U will be given by I going from 1 to 4, NIXY into UI. V will be 1 to 4 summation 4. So, how to get these shape functions? Easy. Of course, once you get the shape function for U, the same thing can be used for V, is it not? U and V, there is no difference between the shape function, properties remain the same. So, they are not different shape functions, same shape functions can be. So, U n1, n2, n3, n4, u1, u2, u3, u4. So, how to get this? How to start? Get it started. Get it started. Yeah. Okay. Just last line I will write. How to get it started? So, u is a function of, yes, can be, now say, of course, a constant has to be there in your polynomial, it has to be used a polynomial. So, was I using a1, a2 or a0? A0 was there, a0, a1, a2 or abc or what did? A1, B, no, A1, B1, C1, no. Anyway, I will use, doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. Okay, so A is one constant plus linear function B into X plus another linear function in Y, C into Y plus what? Plus D into what? Why not X square, Y square? It will be xy. See, first of all, my rectangle, if I join this, of course, it is not rectangle, but then the shape is 4 node and plus it is symmetrical. So, d into, so xy term should be there, not x square or y square, because if you take x square, it is, this function will be non-symmetric. With this, it is symmetric, plus there are only 4 constants. Okay, you cannot use more than 4 constant. Why? Because you cannot find out more than 4 constant, because you have got only 4 nodes. So, 4 equations can be written. So, with A, B, C, D, yes, A, B, C, D can be found out by writing the 4 coordinates, that is, yes, u1 equal to A plus B x1 plus C y1 plus D x1 y1, one equation, second equation, third equation, fourth equation, find out A, B, C, D. So, we have to, starting point is this, not x square. So, Pascal triangle comes handy, which term to take. So, in a, now here it is to be taken like this, and then you can write down the 4 equations, find out A, B, C, D. Okay, we will continue from here next time, but then